Hey, I wanted to tell you a funny story that happened to me recently. A strange encounter, if you will. I'll put this in the Strange Encounters playlist where you can check out some of the other stories of silly things that have happened to me, like the time I stole Mark Zuckerberg's desk. That's the one that everybody loves. But what happened was I was recently going ice skating with some friends. So I was going with my girlfriend, and a mutual friend of ours named Robert was going to meet us there. And when we get to the ice skating place, there's a very long line, and Robert is talking to this lady. And so we're like, "Oh, hey Robert, how's it going?" And he's like, "Oh, it's great to see you guys." And then he motions to the woman next to him, and he says, "Oh, this is, I don't know what her name was, maybe Jessica. This is Jessica." And he says to me, "I met her online." And I was like, "Oh, that's wonderful. Great to meet you, Jessica. My name's blah, blah, blah. This is my girlfriend, blah, 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 blah." And I'm thinking in my head, that's pretty normal these days. I actually met my girlfriend online too. We met through a dating app called Hinge, where you can match with, other people in your area, right? So this is just a commonplace thing. There's nothing weird about that. And I started talking to Jessica about, what's it like in the city. She said she had recently moved here, and we were talking about the area and stuff like that. And so then we get to the end of the line, and we get our ice skates and stuff, and then we're gonna go ice skate. But I noticed that, like, Robert is, he's being a little bit cold to Jessica. And of course, I was thinking maybe this is like their first date, so things are a little awkward, right? So I wanted to maybe like set the mood, but I wanted to like help encourage him to get close to her. So I was like, "Oh, you should go over there and help her get her skates on," or something like that. And then I think later on, I think she was like falling a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, you should go like try to skate with her and hold her up. Like, I think that could be nice, maybe even a little romantic." And I said that, and he was kind of like, "What? Like, romantic? Like, oh, okay." Like, I guess he just felt like awkward about it, or maybe like he felt like maybe it was a little early in their relationship to do those things. But I was just trying to encourage him and like be a supportive friend for all that stuff, right? But and it didn't strike me as weird that he was a little bit reserved for, my suggestions on how to make the date go well. But anyways, like, later on, I don't remember exactly how it came up, but I was like, "Oh, did you meet her through, Tinder or Bumble?" Right? There's like, well, like, which dating app was it? And then he said, "What are you talking about? I didn't meet her on a dating app. I met her on the line." And then it finally came to me, like, this guy was just talking to a stranger, and she was a stranger the whole time. They hadn't met online. They had met on the line to get the ice skates. So when he had said, "Oh, we met online," I had misheard him. He had actually said, "We had met in line," or he had said, "We met on the line." I think in truth it was, "We had met in line," rather than online. But that that was why I think he was like annoyed that I was telling him to like make all these romantic advances to this woman, because he wasn't on a date with her. This was just a random person he had met. So I realized that after the fact. But to my understanding, they're friends now, and maybe something will develop there. Who knows, right? But that's just a silly story, I suppose. I I don't know how I would live my life differently in order to avoid that from happening again. I suppose it's just a silly little happenstance. Well, that's all. Hope you enjoyed the story.